Hey guys, so today I am going to be designing a Robot Master for the Robot Master Design Contest. Now, a few of you, or none of you, might have seen my poll that I put out on what Robot Masters on what type of Robot Master to do. And the one that won was the Ice Robot Master. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to be doing an ice-themed Robot Master, and this will be Sleep Man. Now, I have a pretty cool design for this in mind, and I will kind of tell you about it as we go along here. So I think first, hang on, let me get a different type of colored pencil. But first, hang on. Put that on for a little bit of light here. And then so what I was thinking here is we kind of do like a Gutsman jaw sort of thing, and then those type of eyes. And then maybe like a kind of gem there. Yeah, looking good so far. And we can like, yeah, something like this. Yeah, and then we color those in. Now, for the fun part. Okay. And then do sort of a thing like this, where he's got like ice spikes. Yeah, looking pretty good so far. And then next we'll kind of do this sort of thing, the body, and I kind of have an idea of how this is gonna look. Okay, so kind of like this, of like big and rugged. Yeah, this is looking pretty good so far here. Let me just, there we go. Alright, and now, gonna add a little bit of flare here. Alright, yeah. Looking pretty good. So now, I'm gonna do the arms, so it's like...
And then we have these big hands like this. And then for his hands, I have an idea here.
Didn't turn out as good as I was expecting, but still good. Oh, right, we gotta draw the suction arm. That will be the other arm then. Not used to following a blueprint like this, but yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm realizing that I didn't talk about the Robot Master design contest in like as much depth in my other video as I wanted to. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So yeah, the Robot Master design contest, really cool concept. I was afraid they weren't gonna do this because it's kind of a little bit more complicated nowadays to do something like that, but yeah, they did it anyways. And I was really hoping that you would be able to like submit any Robot Master you want, since I have just like catalogs of so many Robot Masters that I just like freely designed. So I was hoping for that, but unfortunately they did it Mega Man 8 style. In case you're unaware, in Mega Man 8 they also had those a Robot Master blueprint like that, and there was one with like a sword, one with long arms, and one with two heads. And as you probably guessed, those became Swordman, Clownman, and Searchman respectively. So they kind of did something similar for Doll Override, which I was a little bit disappointed about, but that's okay. I still like that formula. It's cool. It really like kind of tests your creativity and design skills. A lot of people I see are just like making like, oh, it's Suckman. He sucks you. But that's not really very creative in my eyes. You gotta go for something different, like this, where you make it like ice themed. But, you know, those designs are still pretty cool in their own way. And, yeah. But I think it's like, part of the challenge is like taking some of your existing concepts and sort of like thinking, how can I make this into a suction robot, you know? But yeah, we kind of do the details on this suction arm here. I kind of wanted to make it like look rugged, and then of course we'll do these classic little things here, make it look good. But yeah, I'm really excited for the Robot Master contest. Like I said, I really hope I win. That would be crazy. It's probably not gonna happen, but I sure hope it does. That would be wonderful. But yeah, whoever it is, they'll be lucky, and it'll kind of be crazy to see what ends up happening. I'm not gonna lie, I will be slightly disappointed if like Suckman or someone wins the competition, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, we'll have him sucking in some ice just so that you can kind of see what he does here. I already kind of like thought through what he does, and that's another kind of important thing you should do for your Robot Masters when you're designing them, is that you should kind of like think through their mechanics and stuff before you start to actually make them. And sort of like, you don't exactly have to plan out every aspect of your design. Like this guy, for instance, I kind of winged a little bit, but you know, it's important to like sort of like think about like the bare bones of his design. Like for me, I kind of like thought of his ice elements and how I would incorporate that, like the little ice crystals and the fact that his hand is ice. Yeah. I think Sleepman is looking pretty good so far. Yeah, just putting a couple extra ice details on his suction arm, and then we'll put like spikes right here. Boom. Looking real good. And now I guess we'll give him like some sort of design element right here just to sell like his ruggedness, kind of. That makes sense? Yeah. Like this, and then we kind of make it something like, and then yeah, this looks really good. Then we'll give him a random arrow because I just kind of feel like it. And then there. And now for the legs. Give him something really big. And yeah, like I said, I'm liking this design so far. It's gonna be interesting to see how it turns out. I'm even gonna kind of draw how these gameplay elements are gonna work. Yeah. Then we'll kind of give it like something like this to give kind of a segmented feel. Kind of like how this is turning out. I kind of wanted to give it a feel of like some sort of aspect of his design that's sort of like making his ice boots almost. Sometimes when I design a character, I like to think like, yeah, they have this cool design element, but why? How does it work? And so that's where this comes in of like, this is sort of supposed to be what's making the ice boot. Put a diamond here because I kind of feel like it. And, of course, we can't forget his legs here. Oh ho ho. Now that is a Robot Master, my friends. But we're not done yet, because the next part is coloring. Since we already have our handy colored pencil out, we'll start with just the grays, kind of. I'm thinking this guy's going to have like a lot of purples, but for now, we are just going to do the elements that I imagine are gray. We don't want... It's important to color your Robot Masters. You don't want anything up to interpretation. You wouldn't want to like make a Robot Master that you envision as red and then Capcom makes it like green. That would not feel very good, at least to me. So I want to make sure I color it so that Capcom knows exactly how my vision is. Exactly what my vision for the design is. And this... See, these designs are kind of like, that I do are kind of like a little bit more complicated, so you gotta do different types of grays. Do a little bit darker in here, and lighter, and then in between like that. Perfection. And then, okay, so this can be a light gray. Oh yeah, guys, by the way, in case you saw my last video where I called the game Doll Override, I know it's Dual Override, I was just rage baiting. So yeah, it's important to kind of think about the Mega Man design principles. Like what do I mean by that exactly? If you look at the Mega Man Robot Masters, you'll notice that kind of their in-between parts are not exactly black, like their in-between parts as in like their arms that kind of connect the different parts. Their arms are always like a dark gray. They're not black usually, they're always a dark gray. So we kind of just color these dark gray, and we're golden. And now comes the part where we actually color him, unless I forgot something. Yeah, I think I might have forgotten a few parts. Okay, I think, well, we still have to do the hand. This is kind of how art goes. I think I'm done with it, and then I realized that there's 10 more things I have to do. Alright, now we just color this area here. Going to want to trace over these lines a little bit because now they kind of blend in, so there we go. That should do it. And now we want these grays to be a little bit lighter, so we'll just kind of lightly erase them. Sorry, my cats are meowing at my door. Can't let them in right now, unfortunately, because I'm recording. And yeah, looks pretty good. Now we should be ready to color. First, let's see. Aha. First, we'll add the reds. Hopefully we should be almost done. Just gotta color and add a few more things. Oh, I completely forgot to do this side. Such is the process of art. But won't take too long. There we go. Alright. That looks good. Really starting to come along now. All right. Let's see.
And then we add a little bit of this color purple to make it look more nice. I think contrasting the blue with the purple on his body looks pretty good. But that's just me.
And then we'll make like the back of his arm here purple too, or blue.
Right. I'm looking pretty good so far. Forgot to color this red earlier.
There. And just like any good drawing, it looks even better colored, at least in my opinion. But now, we still have a few things left to do. First, I'm gonna draw the front view of his vacuum here. All right, yeah, looking pretty good. But now we're going to draw what his mechanic is basically. Okay, so basically the concept for Sleep Man's attack here is that in case he puts a weird ice spike thing around his suction arm and then slams it into the wall, it shatters, then he sucks up the pieces and makes it rain, just like sleet. So that is where his name comes from. And then the weapon is also going to be pretty cool. And then finally, we have the weapon that Mega Man gets, which is he sucks in ice and surrounding enemies, and then after that he can make sleet rain down. So, with that, now we move on to the next part of the operation. Alright, now we have to write some key details about him using this template here. So, first we are going to fill in the name here, which is Sleep Man, obviously. And then next up, we do the description. Now, first we want to think about the purpose of this Robot Master. We just want to really think and apply what would this robot do if they had a purpose. So here's what I came up with. Sleep Man cools down hot climates. Then after that, you write a description of what they do in the fight. Now, I already kind of drew it out and explained it while I was drawing, but if you want to read it over again or just see what I wrote, here's it right here. And then we give the name for the weapon right here, Sleet Suction. And then you simply describe your weapon. Like I said, I won't go over it here because I already did in the other section, but boom, now it's ready to send and ready to post. And here is the parameters for submitting a design in case you want to read over that. And yeah, that's how you post a Robot Master right there. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.